Hey guys, welcome back. So as you know, I'm really into YA mysteries and thrillers, but I decided that I would expand a little bit and try actually reading some popular adult thrillers. The only adult thriller that I've ever really read, I think, is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, which I really like. So I decided to read just three popular ones. I'm not going to talk about these in any particular order. Actually, I'll review them in the order that I read them. So stay tuned, there might be a gem at the end. The first one I'm going to talk about is Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. Our main character is a woman named Amber Reynolds, and there are three things you need to know about her. Number one, she's in a coma. Number two, her husband doesn't love her anymore. And three, sometimes she lies. This story is told from Amber's perspective, and she's in a coma. She can hear everything around her, but she can't open her eyes or speak. This book has the unreliable narrator trope, as you might have guessed, based on the title, which I like that trope a lot. Something I kind of liked is the dream/coma hallucination sequences. They were really trippy and cool. As well as getting her perspective while she's in the coma, there are diaries from childhood between chapters, and I really like these. These were actually the highlight of the book for me. I would get really excited every time I flipped the page and it was one of the childhood diaries. I don't know why I was like really into that story. So our main character wasn't exactly what I would call likable. For some reason, I just didn't really connect with her. That's not necessarily a positive or negative, but I just thought I'd say it. This book has some crazy twists. If you like twists, this book is like twist after twist after twist. I did guess some of them, but I also had a lot of theories that didn't pan out, so I think while reading this, I just kind of thought of everything. I like how this book catches you in your assumptions. With some of the twists, I was so sure that they couldn't possibly be, because didn't the author directly contradict that earlier? And I would go back and realize, no, they didn't. They just implied it and I assumed. That being said, though, this character does outright lie about some things, hence the title. This book warrants a pretty big trigger warning. There is a scene, an essay scene that's pretty insane. Yeah, you should know that if you're going into this book. All in all, I liked it. I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read is The Silent Patient by Alex Michealides. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but this one I feel like was pretty hyped. I feel like I've heard a lot about this one recently for whatever reason. So this is about a woman named Alicia Berenson, and I think it was like 6 years ago, she shot her husband 5 times in the face, killing him, and never spoke a word again. And now she's in a mental hospital. This book is told from the perspective of her therapist. His name is Theo, and he's determined to get her to speak again. So unlike the last one, this book has one big twist at the end rather than like a lot of little twists. For whatever reason, my gut reaction to the twist wasn't positive. I was just like, oh, okay. But kind of the more I thought about it, the more it made sense, and the more you could kind of go back and see how it adds up. I feel like this book was engaging and page-turning throughout. We get to read Alicia's diary sometimes, and I love a journal or a diary in a book. I also loved the tie-in/metaphor of the Greek tragedy, Alcestis. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I love when there's like a legend or a story or a fairy tale or a Greek tragedy, something fiction that sort of like ties into real life and kind of mimics it. I just love stuff like that. So this book, a lot of people really like this book. Personally, I left this book feeling a little bit frustrated, and I couldn't really pinpoint why. I think it's a good book if it makes you feel something, but I think for me, the twist, it was cool how it really tied things together. Like there, for a while there was like a plot we were following that we didn't really know like what is the purpose of telling us all this, but it really ties together in the end, and that was cool. I feel like for the type of characters that these people were, I would have liked more reasoning though. I don't know how to explain this without spoiling anything, so I won't really talk about it more. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It was still an entertaining read, and I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, this next one is the most recent one I read. I still have it because I just read it. I tend to get rid of books. This is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Iain Reid. This book is about a girlfriend and boyfriend on a road trip to visit the boyfriend's parents in a very rural area at their farmhouse. And to be honest, that's all you need to know. I read this in only 2 sittings. For me, that's rare. I know a lot of people can read fast, but ADHD, I like to take a lot of breaks from reading. This like really got me immersed in the story, and it was honestly difficult to rip myself away from it. I was hooked from almost like the very beginning. This book is very eerie and bizarre. It's like reading a dream, not quite a nightmare. Not the type of dream you wake up screaming from, but like the type you wake up and go, that was so weird, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. I will say, I clocked the big twist within the first 50 pages probably. It kind of gives it to you, but with how trippy and weird this book is, I feel like it has to give you some direction, and it's up to you to just kind of see how it plays out. I did read some reviews of this book. Not everybody thought the twist was as obvious as I did. I thought the symbolism was like very clear, but it took some people by surprise, so that's cool if it surprises you too. There's a young adult book I really like called I Killed Zoe Spanos, about a girl who takes a summer job at a town and things are kind of off in this town and she doesn't know why it's weird or why she connects to it, and something's like a little off the whole time. So this is like that feeling times a billion. The whole time you're reading this, you're just like really on edge. Something's really off and you don't know what exactly it is. On the top here it says, you will be scared, but you won't know why. And that's like the perfect way to sum up this book, pretty much. I rarely keep books because I don't have a lot of room, but I think I'm honestly going to keep this one because I think it would be fun to reread this one day and experience it again. I think I really connected with this also because a lot of the things that the main character says, especially about loneliness, really resonated with me. And this book made me feel seen in a weird way. Not like I relate to everything in this book, but parts of it really stood out to me as like really true. I absolutely love this book, but I could see how it might not be for everyone. This is more of, I would say, a psychological horror really than a thriller. The last 2 books I reviewed definitely have a lot more in common, and this one kind of is very different from those. If you like your fiction a little bit more weird and trippy and eerie, this might be for you. Personally, I would absolutely give it a 5 out of 5 stars. I love this book so much. Let me know if you know any books that are kind of like this because I'd like to read them. Also, I heard they made this into a movie. I don't know if I want to watch it or not. I feel like making this into a movie that like really captures the feeling of it could be difficult, but if you've seen it, let me know if it's good. Yeah, you guys, that was a quick little review of the 3 books I read. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have any requests for this channel because I want to make more videos. See you guys next time.